Trees suck water from the roots and releases the water into the atmosphere in the form of vapor during transpiration. First, roots take up the water from the soil. Water is drawn up the stem to the leaves. Then veins carry water into the leaves. Last, the water evaporates from the leaves. This process we called as transpiration. What is transpiration? The process of water passing out from the surface of a plant or leaf. This is called transpiration. Okay. When the trees are cut down, the amount of water vapor released decreases, and hence there is a decrease in the rainfall. Floods. A flood is an overflow of water on normally dry ground. This is most commonly due to an overflowing river, a dam break, or heavy rainfall. Trees absorb and store a large amount of water with the help of their roots. When the trees are cut down, the flow of water is disrupted. Disrupted means disturbed, and it leads to flooding in some areas. Floods. A flood is an overflow of water on normally dry ground. This is most commonly due to an overflowing river, a dam break, or heavy rainfall. What is floods? To fill a place with water or covered with water. Trees absorb and store a large amount of water with the help of their roots. When the trees are cut down, the flow of water is disrupted. Disrupted means disturbed, and it leads to flooding in some areas.
For 2.5 million years, the Earth's climate has fluctuated, cycling from ice ages to warmer periods. But in the last century, the planet's temperature has risen unusually fast, about 1.2 to 1.4 degrees Fahrenheit. Scientists believe it's human activity that's driving the temperatures up, a process known as global warming. Ever since the Industrial Revolution began, factories, power plants, and eventually cars have burned fossil fuels such as oil and coal, releasing huge amounts of carbon dioxide and other gases into the atmosphere. These greenhouse gases trap heat near the Earth through a naturally occurring process called the greenhouse effect. The greenhouse effect begins with the sun and the energy it radiates to the Earth. The Earth and the atmosphere absorb some of this energy, while the rest is radiated back into space. Naturally occurring gases in the atmosphere trap some of this energy and reflect it back, warming the Earth. Scientists now believe that the greenhouse effect is being intensified by the extra greenhouse gases that humans have released. Evidence for global warming includes a recent string of very warm years. Scientists report that 1998 was the warmest year in measured history, with 2005 coming in second. Meanwhile, readings taken from ice cores show that the greenhouse gases carbon dioxide and methane have hit their highest levels in the past 420,000 years. Arctic sea ice is also shrinking. According to NASA studies, the extent of Arctic sea ice has declined about 10% in the last 30 years. As long as industrialized nations consume energy and developing countries increase their fossil fuel consumption, the concentration of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere will continue to rise. Researchers predict that temperatures will increase about 2 to 10 degrees Fahrenheit by the end of the century. What's less certain is what rising temperatures mean for the planet. Some climate models predict subtle changes. Others forecast rising sea levels which could flood coastal areas around the world. Weather patterns could change, making hurricanes more frequent. Severe droughts could become more common in warm areas, and species unable to adapt to the changing conditions would face extinction. Although much remains to be learned about global warming, many organizations advocate cutting greenhouse gas emissions to reduce the impact of global warming. Consumers can help by saving energy around the house, switching to compact fluorescent light bulbs, and driving fewer miles in the car each week. These simple changes may help keep the Earth cooler in the future.
Global warming. Global warming is the gradual heating of Earth's surface, oceans, and atmosphere. We inhale oxygen present in the atmosphere and release carbon dioxide as waste. During the daytime, the trees absorb the carbon dioxide and provide us the oxygen during photosynthesis. In the night time, the trees will absorb oxygen and release carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide along deforestation reduces the number of trees and hence more amount of carbon dioxide accumulates in the atmosphere. Accumulates means to collect a number or quantity of something over a period of time. Okay. Carbon dioxide along with water vapor, methane, nitrous oxide and ozone forms a greenhouse gases. These gases are responsible for global warming. Destruction of homeland. Indigenous people live in and depend on forests for their survival. They get their food and many other resources from the forest. Destruction of forests affect their livelihood. Afforestation. Afforestation is the process of planting trees or sowing seeds in a barren land to create a forest. Afforestation helps us to create the forest differently from natural forest. Next one, importance of afforestation. Afforestation helps the wild animals and even humans to have shelter and to find their food sources. Through afforestation, we can increase the supply of oxygen. Trees planted can increase the water vapor in the atmosphere to get the rainfall. By planting trees, the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere can be reduced and thus the effects of air pollution, greenhouse gases and global warming can be controlled. Afforestation enables us to avoid desertification of land. Creating forests provide us fodder, fruits, firewood, and many other resources. Industries need specific type of trees. Afforestation helps us to grow a particular type of trees. Animal welfare organizations. Animal welfare organizations are the group of people concerned with the health, safety, and psychological wellness of animals. They include animal rescue groups, which help animals in distress, and other which help animals suffering from some epidemic. In this section, we will study about Blue Cross. Blue Cross is a registered animal welfare charity in the United Kingdom, founded in 1897 as Our Dumb Friends League. The vision of this charity is that every pet will enjoy a healthy life in a happy home. The charity provides support for pet owners who cannot afford private veterinary treatment, helps to find homes for unwanted animals, and educates the public in the responsibilities of animal ownership.